No.
Okay.
So how come everybody's smiling? There we go. So it's a great day out there. If it would have been about 30 degrees warmer or 40.
That's what we were just talking about. We like it warm.
Yes.
It's snowing in Denver.
Oh, hush.
Is it? Wow.
Yeah.
Well, we'll get it soon enough.
Sure will.
I hope so, but I hope the mountains just get nailed.
Yeah, get hammered.
Yes. So.
Hi, Amy.
Hey, Greg, how are you?
I'm all right. How you doing?
I'm hanging in here. How about you? Good.
So Amy's got a flag you don't wave, you know, when you say it.
I'm gonna march in. No, earlier I had to rehearse because I know Julie runs a tight ship, so I had to make sure I was like under 3 minutes. I have
Well, and speaking of a tight ship, Amy, it's time to start. So we're going to start.
Go.
And welcome everybody that's on right now to the October Business Lunch and Talk, BLT. This will be our last one this year because of the Thanksgiving holiday, the Christmas holiday. And then in January, on the 30th of January, we have our annual banquet. So we won't have a BLT in January. So February will be our next Business Lunch and Talk. So we're glad you're here today. So we're going to start. Greg, you want to just share a little bit about what's going on with the chamber and here at the chamber office?
Yeah, we've started our 2023 membership recruitment. So if you want to be if you are a current member, we would love to have you renew. We kept the prices at the same level as they were last year. And so we're out recruiting new members and trying to retain our old members, all at the same price. We have not raised the price. Two events that we've got coming up in the not so distant future. Tomorrow, we're going to be out at Walmart from 4 to 6 with the other businesses participating in the trunk or treat activity. And so that is a trick or treat event for area residents and kids. Second thing, hard to believe, we're talking about the Parade of Lights. Parade of Lights is going to be on Saturday, November 26th, starting at 6 p.m. We'll line up at 2nd and Santa Fe, heading back towards the west there on 2nd Street. And we'll probably put some folks there on San Juan in front of La Junta Trading as well. So that'll start at 6. No registration, no fee, just show up. And so that's always a fun event. It does, we are aware that it does conflict with Rocky Ford's parade and Pueblo's parade, and we needed to change the date for some logistical things, for some support we needed. So we understand, we know, we'll try not to have that happen again, but we're on the 26th at 6. And the theme of it is Christmas in the Valley. So you can interpret that however you want to interpret it. So I'm going to be quiet and turn this over to Amy now to talk about Veterans Day. A huge shout out and a big thank you to Amy for taking this project on and running with it. She's done a great job. It's going to be a great day, and we're happy to do this for our community. Just one quick shout out. We know we missed it last year. Is one of those things that you never really know how important somebody is to your community until they're gone. And, you know, this was Glenn's thing for years and years. And we just missed it last year, but I think we're going to make up for it this year. So Amy, take it away.
Alrighty, so we have a very exciting Veterans Day ceremony planned. It will be November 10th at 10 a.m. at the Lahana Intermediate School. So I'll first discuss some of the activities leading up to the ceremony. Lahana Primary School will be participating in Notes of Gratitude. The students will be handwriting their letters of gratitude to show their appreciation and support to local and national veterans. Those letters are going to be distributed locally as well as to Operation Gratitude, who will distribute them nationally. So a very special thank you to Julie Miller and her staff for their willingness to participate in this activity. Lahana Intermediate School, they're not only hosting the Veterans Day event, but they are going to be participating in a soldier's story. These students will interview a veteran and create a poster board telling the story of the soldier, and those stories are going to be displayed at the Veterans Day ceremony. The Lahana Intermediate School Color Guard will present local veterans with care packages that were donated by Operation Gratitude. These care packages are going to be distributed during the Veterans Day lunch, which is after the ceremony. So Claudia Apodaca and Carissa Graham and George Ferguson, they've been meeting with Adriana Perez and myself for the last 2 months to plan out this event. And they've been so supportive, so we appreciate them. The day of the ceremony, we're going to have special music selection by Kristen Golding Langston and the Lahana Junior and Senior High. Mary Ballou is going to be doing intercession and a special music selection, as well as Gianna Ayala will be singing the national anthem. So the Lahana Intermediate School Student Council is going to be playing a big part of the ceremony, and we're going to hear from special guest speaker Tom Polito and Michael Brodere of the American Legion Post 9. The last thing that I'll kind of speak about is we're asking for community support in Greenlight a Vet campaign, which is to establish visible local support for our veterans. We asked the community to change one light at their home or business to green for the month of November. Auxilium is going to set up downtown November 2nd from 1 to 3 at the corner of 3rd and Colorado. And we're going to be providing community members a green light bulb as well as information about the campaign. A very special thank you to Walmart, who donated 150 light bulbs, and also to Auxilium, who donated the rest of the light bulbs to this campaign. So please make sure that you drive by or you stop. It's going to be a little bit like the firework boot donation thing, only we're going to be giving out the light bulbs. Last thing is special thank you to Adriana, who's on this call. She's been working really hard doing the footwork on some of the things that we're getting going and running for this event. So everyone, please mark your calendar. Joe, I see you're on, so we're going to be visiting you to make sure that you're at the ceremony. We'll shout out to any community members that have military honors. Rick, you're on this call too, so I'm going to want to see you at the school. And Sean, your wife's going to be there, so hopefully you'll be there also.
You've pinned him down there, Amy.
There you go. I got everybody.
So is the lunch open to anybody or just the veterans, or where is it at the school?
It's at the school. The lunch is open to everybody. However, the school is only paying for the lunch for the veterans. So the lunch would be $2 otherwise.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Anybody else have any questions for Amy about this nice celebration for our veterans?
Thank you for your hard work.
Sure.
Yeah. Thank
You, Adriana, too.
So thank you.
Thanks, guys.
All right. Thanks, Amy. We're going to go to Lynn Scott, who's got a busy job now with the elections coming up. And so we're going to ask her to share a little bit, some information about our upcoming midterm election and any requirements or whatever. So go ahead, Lynn. You're muted. Okay, now you're.
I unmute before I start talking. Okay, so we are going to be we are in early voting now in my office through the 7th. And then, of course, then we'll still be open for voting on election day, but it's not considered early voting at that point. So we only do it from the 24th to the 7th. We will be open on Saturday, the 29th and November the 5th, which is also a Saturday, from 8 to noon for anybody that wants to come in that can't make it during the week. We will be open 7 to 7 on election day. And if you are in line at 7 o'clock, then you can still put in your vote. There are ballot boxes for drops in the city of Fowler and the city of Rocky Ford. And on election day, they will also be the SPCs in those two locations. So you can go in and vote in person if you so choose. Any questions?
Now, if someone comes into your office to vote, Lynn, they'll just mark their paper ballot in your office, correct?
They can, or they can vote the machines, either way.
Oh, okay, all right. But they have to go in the office to do the machine ballots or the
They have to
machine
come to
voting.
the office for the machines, yes.
Okay, all right. Does anybody else have any questions for Lynn about this election cycle? November 8th is the election. 7 o'clock, your ballot needs to be turned in, so
By 7 p.m.
7 p.m., right, yes. Okay, are there any questions for Lynn about it? Thank you, Lynn, for sharing with us what's coming up, so. All right, Rick and Joe, you're on to talk about a very important election matter, the initiative on the ballot, the 2B initiative about the sales tax. So you two can have the floor now.
All right, can you guys hear me? Yep, okay. So I'm gonna go first and then I'm gonna let the cleanup hitter come in after me. That's gonna be Rick. And he's gonna go over anything we missed. So if you are a resident in the city of La Junta, we need you to vote yes on 2B. I can say that, Rick can't say that, okay? La Junta is, in a deficit right now. And it's just over $3 million. Now, if you do the math, we think 2B is gonna get us about 1.4 million. Now that 3 million isn't a totally accurate number. We have to put some of that in there in order to apply for grants, okay? So if we don't get that, it may not be the whole 3 million, but we can get close. We can be in the game with 3 million, okay? With 1.4, I mean. Now, if we don't, it's just simple math. It is simple math. Either we raise revenues or we cut expenses. If we don't get this to be passed, we're gonna be looking at making cuts. And we wanna keep public safety a priority for us. So then we look at other things, okay? The library, the senior center, the golf course, the cemetery, recreation, streets, and transit, okay? Does that mean they're gonna go away? No, that doesn't mean they're gonna go away, but they're gonna look a lot different, okay? Our library is a wonderful library. We use that.
Yes.
And, if we have to, we're gonna have to look at doing something different there. Maybe they're not open 6 days a week. Maybe they're open less time. Our parks and rec, maybe we don't get rid of it, but maybe it costs more. And if you have multiple kids, it's gonna be hard to pay a higher price to have all of them joining parks and rec. Maybe our parks don't look as beautiful as they look because we can't have someone looking after that kind of thing. Our golf course, maybe our golf course doesn't get the care that it needs. Maybe that doesn't matter to you. But what if we have doctors, Andy's on the call, he'll know. What if we have doctors that want to have a place where they can golf when they're not working, that want to come to this area for our parks, and just a nicer way of life. So just because you may not think something's important to you, there are people that utilize these things in our community. They utilize our senior center. They utilize our library. They utilize our golf course, our swimming pool. What does that look like if this doesn't pass? So I don't want to be gloom and doom and say that those go away, but it looks a lot different. And those things are what makes La Junta great. And those things are just, important to so many of us. So when you're getting this ballot and you're thinking about it, don't think of it going away. Think of how you can right now support those things, and then build on top of that. Because if we go vote yes on this, people want dog parks. They want all these different things. But without money, we can't make that happen right now. You have a city council that is watching this budget. Yes, we hear all the other side of it. Well, you need more businesses. We know that. We know that we need more businesses, and we're going to try our best to get more businesses to the valley. Well, you need to do. You need to be like Pueblo. Pueblo has unlimited businesses. We don't have that luxury. If there was any other way to do this, we would have looked at doing it, and we did look at doing it. But this was the way we can get back into the game. Rick's going to talk about the last time there was a sales tax increase. I wasn't alive. He was. There was also the talk about property tax, and property tax, that directly affects La Junta residents. Whereas the sales tax, that's paid for by a majority of people that are not La Junta residents. Those are our surrounding communities that do their business here, that do their shopping here. I was also just made aware of some different businesses that for some reason were never in city limits, and we're going to reach out to them and see if we can get them involved. But we're not going to stop looking for ways to bring in more money if this doesn't pass. Just like if it passes, we're not going to stop looking for ways to bring more businesses here. We also know we got to tighten our belt. And if you watch those utility boards, we started doing it on that level. We're going to do it on council as well too. We got to get really direct with what we're doing and how we're doing it going forward. And I believe this council and our utility board, and Rick is on board with doing that. We all have one goal in mind, and that is a thriving La Junta.
Right.
So with that, I'll let Rick just talk about the history of sales tax and go from there.
And just to tell you,
Hey,
man,
Rick, can I just jump in real quick and amplify one thing that Joe said? So just so everybody knows, 63% of the sales tax is paid by non-La Junta residents. So while this will affect La Junta residents, but the majority of our sales tax comes from non-La Junta people. Sorry, Rick.
no, that's perfect, Greg. And Greg's right. But to the people that live outside of the city limits and stuff, is it fair? Yes, because you're using the roads and the amenities or parks and everything, just like somebody from inside La Junta. And that was the reason why way back that City of La Junta became sales tax based. They wanted to let the county and the schools be property tax based. Now, 1982, that's 40 years ago that we haven't had an increase. I was dealing with some people off the Front Range just yesterday, and they said, wow, you guys' taxes are low. And they have a lot more people in their communities, and they had to raise it for those type of amenities. Please, I do not want to cut anything. I've spent my whole career at 33 years, and they had me build this library, to build that senior center back in the late 90s. Those were items that were needed. They still are needed. They're very well used. The 37% is only from the people from within. Now, let's take the 1.4 million, so that leaves about 1.6 to 1.8 that we'll have to come up with. 2017, I told, any budget that I've ever done, and I've done them for over half of my life, as far as with the city of La Junta. I can tell you how each one of these line items have changed, what they were, what they are now. But it's always been our job, to show, okay, what's the picture out there? Well, here we just had a 40-year high inflation, the great resignations, the great hold everybody hostage for more salaries. That went on across the nation and the state. Even locally, you've seen businesses, the local businesses have had to raise up their per hour costs in order to keep their people. So every budget I've done, the actual budget, life takes over. But 2017, I said, okay, well, it might be a $1.4 million deficit. It was actually a $390,000 deficit by the time we got done. The supervisors we have in place, they're veterans, they know what to do, the rec programs. And I can show you that for every year that we've cut that back down. But now with this 40-year high inflation that nobody saw after the salary deal, we're in trouble. We got to have this in order to not cut. And, I've been amazed on how many people come up to me and they say, well, Rick, I really don't use the library. And I was like, okay, do you use the swimming pool? No. Do you use the senior center? No. Do you use the golf course? Yes. But you can't touch that. Yeah, everything gets touched. Everything don't look the same. Even like with the cemetery, everybody wants green grass. To bury somebody, $250, and then you want perpetual care all the way through. Maybe we got to start looking at changing that to some type of different grasses. You know, just travel to your communities down in any state around us. It's prairie grass out there. Lahaina's very fortunate. You know, how long can these communities keep it up, especially with water prices and the way they're going? Our rec programs, we got a $5,500 as far as on the programs themselves, but that doesn't take any account of how much money that we have to do for the facilities themselves. Just like in parks, that's a $712,000 subsidy to keep everything green and keep everything looking like what we have for all those rec programs, for the high school, for the colleges. Cemetery, that's $368,000. The golf course, $384,000. A lot of that's water. So we can't, nobody gets free water. City doesn't either, and we're paying for it. You know, the library, $692,000. So as you can see, just off of those, you know, that don't even take in senior center of $173,000. Those things will not be the same if we don't get this.
Before you
And
forget,
there's
Rick,
no choice.
also transit. We have 50 to 60 riders a day, Monday
Yeah.
through Friday. They're paying $1, right?
Yeah.
If we have to change that to make it to where we're not losing money there, we don't want to do that, but that's just the way it is right now.
That's
That's
right.
huge right there.
It's huge. Yeah. So with
Yes,
that,
on 2B.
with that, we need to pass, get 2B passed. You know, talk to your family, talk to your friends, even if they talk to the naysayers, get them to switch that vote, you know. So any questions?
Anyone have any questions or comments for Rick?
Julie, just a couple things. If you want a yard sign, text either the mayor or myself and we'll get you a yard sign. If you want a presentation at your business or know of a group that would like to hear this presentation, text either the mayor or myself and we'll make that happen. And then, Mr. Mayor, do you want to talk about our community meetings that we've got coming up?
Rick, did we confirm those?
Yes, sir. Sure did.
Okay, go ahead and share that, please.
Okay. On Saturday morning at 10 a.m. at the library meeting room, we're going to have a community meeting, and also at 5:30 on Tuesday.
Is that
So-
at the library too, Rick?
And that's also at the library meeting room.
Okay. Does anybody
this-
else have any questions for Rick or Joe?
This is Ed Vila. I have some comments.
Okay.
Food for thought for your pocketbook, considering next year. We have some revenue coming in that hasn't been foreseen, that has been foreseen. And that revenue comes from that $17 a month utility fee. It is free and clear now. And the money involved in that is per year is about $800,000. Also, we have, I don't know if it's the full amount, but it's American Recovery Act. We had $800,000 last year. That was extra on top of the sales tax. So that's something to consider. Also, on your voting, Black Hills, some of you have already been hit, but the rest of us will be hit in January, if not sooner. Black Hills has already gotten a okay to up their rates for natural gas. So there's another takeaway from your pocketbook. The utility board currently is
Julie,
doing
we
a
got to move on, Julie. We got to move on. We
Right.
got to keep on schedule.
Greg, don't interrupt me.
You don't hijack the meeting, Ed. You
I'm
made
not
your point.
hijacking the meeting. You're supposed to
You-
present both sides.
No,
That's
this is
what
our,
this is all
this is our
about.
meeting. We're under no obligation to present both sides. We need to stay on schedule. You made your point. Let's move on.
And I
Okay,
would encourage everybody to consider the 2B initiative on the ballot that's for the city. So,
anybody can call me anytime and I'll give you some more information. My vote for or against this is not known to anybody but me.
You know,
Okay.
that's very unfortunate that Councilman Vila feels that way. I will say this though. That money he's talking about, I'll touch on that with the $17. That is for infrastructure for our water, our mains, stuff like that. And he knows that. Okay, so that's a false narrative. But it's not just about what we use. It's about our future. It's about my kids. It's about your kids. Do you want them to have La Junta to be an option to come back to or to stay here the whole time? And if we don't pass this, it's going to be a really hard La Junta for them to even have that opportunity. So I'm asking you guys to vote yes on 2B. Give La Junta a shot. I know, I believe in this community. I seen Rick sell in this community. It looked great yesterday. That's all we're asking for. Give us a shot and let us, let us get this through and let us keep what we have. We don't want to cut anything. And I know
Yet to
inflation's
come is
high.
the
I know
Arkansas
Black
Valley
Hills is high,
Conduit.
but there's never a perfect time for this. There's
No,
never
there
a perfect time for this.
Thanks, Joe and Rick, and please consider seriously the 2B initiative on the ballot. So
Consider all
thank you.
things.
Okay. Debbie Phillips from Otero College is now going to tell us about an exciting new program that's happening up at Otero College. So take it away, Debbie.
Well, good afternoon. It's good to see everybody. Can you hear me okay? I'm good?
We can, yes.
Okay, so Otero College, we're always continually evolving. We've had a lot of changes up here, and we have come up with a new concept that we're really excited. We're almost ready to roll it out, but we are going to start doing a Rattler Nation live streaming broadcast once a week that will include interviews with students, coaches, different programs on campus, information. We'll run down and give you what's happening on campus each week. So we're pretty excited that we've been given this opportunity. I went to cabinet and we approached them and said, we had this idea for a new marketing tool. As you all know, it constantly changes how we communicate, especially with our students. Different generations, we communicate differently with them. So I just wanted to, I have someone here with me, he's hiding. Anyway, this is Tim Kelly, and he's my technical person. He's been wonderful. As you can see, I'm gonna turn this a little bit. We have our studio facilities set up here in the Humanities Center, and we have been doing some test broadcasts. We still have a few kinks to work out, but our intent is to go live here in a couple, 3 weeks and start broadcasting at 8:15 on Thursday mornings. We will broadcast through our YouTube channel, which is Otero College. And then all broadcasts we'll put them out there for people to look at them again if it's another time is more convenient for them. So we're working on it, working out our bugs, and this will be fun. This is a new adventure for us. And
So Debbie, is this going to work into a certificate or degree program then?
well, once we get this bugs worked out and we know what we're doing with this little adventure, we hope that it will turn into some opportunities for students to be able to come in and learn how to do this with us.
Right.
This setting up the studio also gives us the opportunity to do podcasts and, different kinds of communication. At some point, we're We're working on some other aspects like video editing. Tim's been doing that for the college. If you look at our website, we have lots of little videos, and he's been doing the videos. And so this whole thing has a big plan, but we got to start with
It's
one
cool.
step, figure out what we're doing and get good at it, and then we'll move on to the next step.
See if students would actually enjoy or want to pursue journalist careers or communication
Yeah.
careers.
Because
It
we,
gives them a chance to do
Yeah.
it hands-on and
Right.
experiment with things. So
and there's a lot of opportunities for students to do different kinds of things. I mean, our whole world communicates so much differently than it did 5 years ago. So, you know, as we evolve, we want to evolve into what is current and what is the future. So
Right.
this will be our first step. We're excited. Our plan is to have three sessions with 3 different guests. We'll do athletics, a program, whatever kind of activity is going to be happening on campus. We want to make sure that our community knows what we're doing up here and what's available to them to come to. I mean, that's the one thing we can say about our community is they really strongly support us. They
Right.
support us in everything we do. Whether it's coming up for the lunch and learns. We had 81 people up here for the tarantula presentation. So, you know, we get a lot of solid community participation. We had
So-
soccer games last weekend that the
Right.
community. So this will give us all kinds of opportunities to get more information out to everyone.
So what'd you say the proposed date to start it is?
Well, we're
Or you don't
probably
know for
looking
sure?
at, a couple more weeks. We
Okay.
thought we thought we had some bugs worked out, and we discovered yesterday in our test broadcast that we had a couple of audio things that we wanted to correct so that
Okay.
the sound quality was better than what it was. So yeah, in about 2 weeks, and we'll put out a press release so
Okay.
everybody knows, and we'll put it on our website and put it out for social media. What will be our actual kickoff date? We have a coach and some of their athletes that are going to come in, and we're going to do one complete run through and then go back and look it over and see if we need to make more tweaks, and then we'll move forward with the real thing that we let the world see.
Very good. Does
Yeah.
anybody have any questions for Debbie about this new exciting thing coming off of OC's campus?
I don't have so much a question, but I just want to say good job. Tim Kelly is amazing. He's great at his job. He's an even better friend and an even better musician. So if you guys get the chance to listen to him, I think maybe a podcast idea, you get Greg on there, just call it Just a Guy from Lahana. That's his saying. There you go. Take it away from there. But good job, you guys. Thank you for all you do.
Ditto. Same on me with Tim, and same on with Hotel College.
All right.
All right.
So-
So, you know, we're always looking for great ideas. So, you know, anybody who's got any suggestions for us, well, we're always open to them. I get lots of emails and phone calls from people who have thoughts that they want to share with me. So, but yeah, so our goal is about 2 weeks. We think in about 2 weeks, we'll be ready to actually go out there public with this.
Okay. We'll look forward to it. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
So I don't know, is Rick Lovato on here now? I don't recognize the phone number. So we'll move on to Andy Flemmer's on here from Ark Valley Regional Medical Center. So Andy, if you'd like to visit with us about what exciting things are happening at the medical center. You're muted, Andy. Okay.
So I just fixed that. Thanks, Julie.
Uh-huh.
I was distracted. My landline that rarely rings started ringing right in the middle of when I was starting to speak.
Okay.
So just want to share a few updates. Great things going on here at our community medical center, Arkansas Valley Regional Medical Center. We just had our board meeting on Tuesday evening, and I was proud to announce to the board that we had our third consecutive month with a small surplus. So, and third month of positive cash flow.
Wow.
So that's been a long time coming for Arkansas Valley Regional Medical Center, and it's
That's
been an all
terrific.
hands on deck. It's not just me, and I'm really proud of this team. They work really hard, and so it's both our clinical and our business and administrative staff. There's 290 total staff here, and they all work hard and they all get our mission, and we're here to serve the community and provide excellence in healthcare. What's driving that small surplus is our OR, OB, and ER, emergency room, operating room, and our obstetrical units all are showing growth, as well as our ancillary departments. So our lab and imaging, respiratory therapy, rehab services, PT.
Wow.
So I just wanted to share that great news with everybody. And October is looking like it's going to finish equally strong. And so that's, we're still working on adding some additional new services, cataract services in partnership with Rocky Mountain Eye Center. They've run into a staffing delay, just like a lot of businesses are experiencing staffing challenges. They don't have enough staff to put together what they call a travel team that would travel with Dr. Komana, who's one of their new ophthalmologists, to come out to their clinic location that they have. I believe it's on Colorado Avenue, and it's temporarily closed due to staffing issues. But they were planning on putting a travel team together and come out at least once a month, if not more frequently, and start doing pre-op consults, determining if patients needed new lenses, need lens implants, need cataract surgery, or any other kinds of ophthalmologic, that's a long word, surgery. And so we're staying in touch with them. The hospital's ready to start with our OR team, and then the other partner that provides the technical support and specialization in ophthalmology is SightPath, and they're ready to go as well. They provide the scrub tech and the instrument trays and all the specialized equipment for doing cataract surgery and specialized lens implants. Continue to do the background work and crunching the numbers on restarting our pain management program. And we're fortunate that one of our CRNAs here is fellowship trained in pain management. And so from a provider standpoint, we already have that piece, part of it. It usually takes two providers, one in the OR and one in the clinic, seeing all the patients, assessing whether they are a candidate for pain management procedure or some other alternative therapy that can be provided out in the clinic environment. Wound care, continue to explore that, as well as chemotherapy, and working on exploring a partnership there with a regional cancer center that would provide the chemo drugs and mix them and transport them. And that's a model that's been working well in other rural communities in the southern part of the state. And I'm going to try to replicate what they're doing, so we can at least get the chemo infusions done locally here like they used to be.
Right.
But there's a lot of work to do and a lot of regulations around chemotherapy agents. In discussions with a second general surgeon, and he's looking at his calendars and hours and where we need gaps covered on general surgery, emergency room call coverage. And so I'm excited about that. This is a very experienced surgeon, and he is currently providing some support to the hospital in Clayton, New Mexico, so not too far away from us. And he's been up here to visit us and had a great discussion with Dr. Jackson at the end of August. And so hopefully we'll get that schedule nailed down and be able to have more call coverage for our ER for general surgery. That'll eventually grow into potentially his doing elective surgeries and becoming more of a full-time general surgeon. So our goal is to get a second full-time general surgeon and then ultimately a third. New equipment, we did replace our equipment that supports our pathology program. It was over 30 years old, and that was through a generous grant through Betty Velasquez, one of our board members, who is on the board of the Colorado Trust. So $25,000 was granted to Arkansas Valley Regional Medical Center through the Colorado Trust. We're very grateful for that donation and Betty's involvement in advocating for us for that. So we could replace the two pieces of equipment. And I won't get into the technical names with you all, but basically what the histology tech does and needs that equipment to prepare the slides for the pathologist to be able to read them. And let's see, we also hosted the State Emergency Management Advisory Council to the Governor of Colorado. That was hosted week before last. So all of the EMS leadership throughout the state were here at the large conference center here at the hospital for 2.5 days. And they were here spending money in our hotels and in our restaurants as well. And also they paid us a small stipend to rent that facility. And I had a chance to address that group in their formal business session, which I'm pretty sure was recorded, and that was great. Just thank them for choosing to come here for their quarterly meeting and support.
And what group was that, Andy?
It's the abbreviation is SEMTAC. I'd have to Google it again to look it up, but it's an advisory group across. They're all appointed by the governor, and they're all EMS professionals.
Okay.
Our local region was represented there as well. But that's the abbreviation for that.
Oh, okay, that's fine.
So it's SEMTAC.
Okay.
And we hope to host other meetings like that here more frequently going forward. And that was due largely in part to Robbie Quick, our emergency room nursing director, being involved with the state and regional agencies and offering up our facilities for this quarterly meeting.
Good deal.
All right. Thank you to Mary Isla and Rick Klein for helping me host 4 family medicine OB residents that came to visit us over the Tarantula Fest weekend. So these are postgraduate year 2, so they have 2 more years to go. So one of them was a third year. They had a great time, and so Rick served as their personal tour guide out at Vogel Canyon, and we did see some tarantulas, and they all had a great visit here and followed up with me via text. They're all 4 still interested in continuing the discussions about potentially coming here for their first job when they finish their training.
That's terrific.
So the timing actually works nicely with them being second and third years because we can't absorb 4 all at once. But we can stagger them in. There's plenty of patient care demand and need in both family medicine and OB and surgical OB. So that was something that the hospital had not participated in the past, and I was invited through Colorado Hospital Association. Ben Anderson, the Vice President of Rural Healthcare, and he came out here to visit us my second week here. He's been a tremendous resource connecting me with state and national resources that we can bring here. And this was there actually were 16 medical residents that came to Alamosa that Friday before the Tarantula Fest weekend. I traveled over there. The next morning we had a continuing medical education seminar for the residents, and all of the medical students at the Colorado School of Medicine Rural Health Program were also present. So we had a nice dinner. Everyone got to know each other, and then the CEOs from Alamosa's Hospital, Del Norte's Hospital, I did learn how to pronounce that correctly. So thank you, Dr. Jeff Perry. And so also we had the hospital in Gunnison CEO was there, and then I represented Arkansas Valley. And I brought 4 of those 16 family medicine OB residents back here for Saturday afternoon and then Sunday morning, and they stayed at the Hampton Inn. The hospital paid for the Hampton Inn, as well as a nice dinner that Mayor arranged for the banquet room to be reserved for us, and the staff, server staff and the kitchen staff did an awesome job. Everyone really enjoyed their meal. And Dr. Richard, Dr. Panter, and Dr. Petal, Dr. Rittmuller from Valleywide all were participating in that dinner. Dr. Panter is our one and only OBGYN board certified specialist in the area. And Doctors Richard, Petal, and Rittmuller are all board certified family medicine OB and surgical OB providers. So that was great for the residents to be able to ask those experienced physicians in their specialty questions about what's life like after my residency in a rural community. And they ask a lot of tough questions and got great answers. And but they're all seeking rural healthcare. They're in the track in their residency programs at John Peter Smith Hospital in Fort Worth, Texas, at Waco Family Medicine residency in Waco, Texas, and Via Christi in Wichita, Kansas. And then the CU student that's going to be has started here for her year-long clinical rotation from the College of Medicine in University of Colorado. She was present, and her name is Divya Kling, and Michael Persinger has been here for a year, and he's rotating out. So the rural health, we have an active slot here and for the rural health program for the years at Colorado School of Medicine. And Dr. Amanda Swanson is the regional medical director, and she's one of the Valleywide providers that works here in other parts of the Valleywide network. So I know I'm taking up more time than I should, but I had a lot of new information. Also had the opportunity to meet Tim Alvarez, president at Otero College, with Rick Klein, to help facilitate that meeting and introduction. And and then myself and Heidi Gearhart, our CNO, are going to tour the healthcare program facilities at Otero College. And I think that's going to be November 7th, if I recall correctly. And so we'll go spend a few hours there and meet Tim Alvarez's team and get to know everybody, get to know each other better, and see the facilities. So we're excited about doing that. And
go ahead.
I was just going to mention I attended the annual Colorado Hospital Association annual meeting. That's where I was actually speaking from during last week's BLT, or last month's BLT, and that was at Cheyenne Mountain Resort. We have one of the best well-run hospital associations in the country. I have seen a lot of them because my career has taken me to many different regions across our nation, and that staff is phenomenal. And the state of Colorado is unique in that we have the highest number of new healthcare regulations that have been imposed by our governor and legislature, and it's pretty daunting. But my team here is getting them all done as fast as we can. But a lot of the other CEOs were complaining about all that, and I was noticeably silent because our team's just putting them in place and moving on. Fighting it isn't going to work because it is the law of the state of Colorado on all these regulations. So that, and then I'll be attending the Community Hospital Corporation. That's a company that provides consulting services. They do not manage us. We are an independent 501c3 nonprofit community hospital, and they provide consulting services, and they're doing a great job. They've been doing that since January of 2020, and they have an annual leadership meeting, and I'll be representing our hospital at that meeting and bring back all the knowledge that they will be sharing with us and programs that they offer. And that's finally it.
Well, thank you, Andy. You're certainly putting Lahana and the Arkansas Valley Regional Medical Center on the map, and we appreciate that. And thank you for it.
I'm enjoying doing it.
Well, thank
Thank
you. I'm glad you
real
could be on
fast.
and share with us. Go ahead, Rick.
Real fast, I just want to say thank you to Andy for hosting Dr. Alvarez and myself, and all three of the entities, Arkansas Valley Regional Medical Center, Otero College, and City of Lahana. We're all three working together, and we're determined to make good things happen. I'm so impressed with what Andy has done since he's came in, and getting back with Valleywide and everything. Thank you, thank you, thank you, Andy.
Yes, thank you much for being on
Glad to be
BLT.
doing it.
Okay, we have Johnny De Leon from the Lahana Health Services District. Are you on, Johnny? I don't see him. Okay, we're going to go on to Anita Potter from Ark Valley Hospice. Are you here, Anita? Gosh, they either didn't remember or... Well, I do see Judy Cole, so we're going to have Judy Cole, who is the interim client services coordinator. Some of you may remember Judy as the director of the pregnancy center, and she's back helping out now. And she's going to talk about their fundraising banquet. So go ahead, Judy.
Okay, thank you, Julie. Hello, everybody. Thanks for having us on to participate. Yeah, so we have our annual fundraising banquet coming up November 11th, and it is our 27th annual event. The Pregnancy Center has been in this community so almost 30 years now. And so our goal, yes, is to provide community support for families, women, parents, new parents, ongoing parents with the services that we provide. So we're excited about this banquet. It's Friday, November 11th at the Valley Trading Post Event Center. That's a Friday evening. The doors open at 6. We're going to have a wonderful sit-down roast beef dinner. And our speaker is Lauren Castillo. And she's a young woman who has her own pregnancy story of whether she needed to make a life-affirming choice when she was in her last year of college. And since then, she has gotten involved in the pro-life movement and has just been an advocate for us and for what we do. And so we're excited about her coming. We think it's going to be a very informational evening. And so we just want to invite the community to come. Tickets are for sale currently, and you can call the Pregnancy Center at 719-384-5561 and reserve those seats and those tickets. And, you know, we have great support from the community. We have over 11 business sponsors for this event. If I can mention a few of those, because without them, it wouldn't be possible. So Erickson Cattle Company, Rusty Knob Prim, Wrestler Implement, the Arkansas Valley Regional Medical Center, Grover Woodworking, Randall Roberson's Farmers Insurance, Tomke Farms, Muth Welding, Sam Fife Tree Services, the Knights of Columbus, and the First National Bank of Los Animas and Lahana are helping us fund this event. So we love this community. We love the women and men that we get to serve at the center. Our services are continuing to expand. You know, we provide pregnancy tests, STD testing. Our education curriculum has kind of exploded because with COVID, we had to learn how to do things differently. So now we're doing online Zoom courses with our clients. So we still get to meet with them face to face. And they are loving this new curriculum. It's helping them be better parents, or it's helping new parents learn how to be parents. And so we also continue to offer ultrasounds and pregnancy tests, for women who are in that unplanned pregnancy and making a decision. And so we want to give them the best information available and help walk with them through their story. And so I think that's it, unless you
Do
have any.
you still have the satellite center in Los Animas, Judy?
We do still have our satellite center in Los Animas. You know, as with staffing and volunteers, we are making appointments to meet clients down there. So we're not open one day a week right now, but yes, we
Okay.
are still running in Los Animas. Yes.
Okay. Does anybody have any questions for Judy about the center or the banquet coming up? Okay, thank you, Judy.
All right. Thank you very much.
So now we have Chris Caulfield, who is a volunteer with a new organization here in La Junta known as the Kitchen of Kindness, and they're having a fundraiser coming up the day after the Pregnancy Center's fundraiser. So Chris, just tell us about the Kitchen of Kindness Empty Bowls fundraiser. I love the name.
Okay. I don't know if you're all familiar with the Ark Valley Kitchen of Kindness. We're fairly new. We started last April. We serve meals on Thursday evenings. We've been serving from the Santa Fe Plaza here in La Junta, and tonight is our first night we'll be serving a meal inside, and that'll be at the First Christian Church on 5th and Santa Fe. So we are planning our first fundraiser. We're calling it Empty Bowls. The bowl serves as an invisible reminder that people go to bed hungry each night. So the fundraiser is on November 12th at Our Lady of Guadalupe St. Patrick Parish Hall. And it will be 5:30 to 7:30, $15 a ticket. We have tickets available and people get to pick out a bowl. We'll have a variety of soups to choose from. And we will offer bread, desserts, and punch or tea or coffee. We are also having a raffle, and we're going to be having entertainment by Leon Davis.
Okay.
The money that we raise will go back to Kitchen of Kindness so that we can continue to buy the food that we use to serve, and just trying to get the word out. And we appreciate support. We've got a lot of support from the community as far as making bowls, painting bowls. We've got La Junta High School involved, and Tiger Trades Academy, Otero College Art Club, 4-H, let's see, there's a Fort Bent 4-H group. So I don't want to leave anybody out, but we have a lot of support, and we really appreciate that.
Do we need advance tickets? Do people need advance tickets, or can they just get them at the?
They can buy at the door.
Okay.
We do, they can call. If they do want to buy ahead of time or have any questions, they could call me, 970-317-5361.
Okay.
Or Terry Smalling is 719-468-7157. And yeah.
All right.
So thank you.
No one should go hungry on Friday or Saturday night, the 11th or 12th of November. So thank you very much, Chris.
Thank you.
I think I see Johnny on here now. So Johnny, welcome to Business Lunch and Talk. If you'll share with us the progress on the Blue Stem Village.
Yeah, thank you, Julie. Sorry about that. I got called away on my job and I had problems dialing in on the phone. So I'm driving still, but I can share it really quick. So we're moving along really well once we got past all the financing issues and, you know, having a bank pull out because of COVID and seeing nursing home closures throughout all of COVID. We had a general contractor pull out, but we did finalize the financing after 13 months last July. We started construction and we're now ready to end construction February 28th. So at that time, we would move 5 residents in and the 5 residents would work there with staff. CDPHE, Colorado Department of Public Health and Environment, would show up on site 30 days later, survey the nursing home, and if in fact everything's going as supposed to, then they would go ahead and grant us our certification, and then we can start enrolling others. So we do have a management company called Vivage Senior Living. Them and Genesis are 2 of the biggest management companies in the state of Colorado. We think we've got the best one. They also manage nursing homes across the nation. They have 3,500 staff. Their CFO and their CEO are very, very competent. And so right now we're in the midst of hiring a nursing home administrator. It's kind of been a little struggle going on because we're just not getting very many applications that we feel would be a good fit for what we're trying to accomplish. So we are in a non-traditional nursing home environment. And in essence, we're treating it as care in the comfort of your home. And, you know, we want that to be, if this is your last place that you live, we want that to be the best place. We want it to feel like you were at home and there as you're going through your later years in life. So we've got our work cut out right now because there's a lot of things coming due that are owner supplied now. And our only staff, our community relations director, Adela Lacano, is doing a wonderful job staying on top of everything. And we're meeting regularly, trying to get board actions done to get everything approved and purchased and installed as it comes due from the owner side. So if you haven't been out there, I encourage you to. It's 54,000 square foot total. The admin is 8,000 square foot. We just met with the multimedia staff and computer staff today, so we could see exactly how we're going to put in the multimedia and computer network and so forth. There's 4 houses, but for CDPHE licensing, from their perspective, it's 2 houses, but we really call them 4. The 4 houses, there's 2 separate on each side, the north and the south. They're adjoined by a commons area, and we did that for economies of scale.
You're muted, Johnny. Johnny, you're muted. Hello, hello, hello. Well, we got to hear most of it. Now you're, Johnny?
Yes.
It was muted for a bit.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
I saw that because somebody was calling in and I rejected it. Sorry.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So yeah, I don't know if you heard me say that the 2 houses on the north will be the first house we move in, and then followed by the 2 houses on the south.
Oh.
So I encourage you to get out there and drive by, and we'll schedule a grand opening, and we would love for all of La Junta to come out and surrounding cities, and we'll just have a big grand opening party.
So how many residents eventually could be housed out there?
Good question. So 56 total. So each house will have 14. Our staffing ratio will be 1 to approximately 3.5 residents. You compare that to other nursing homes who are at anywhere from 1 to 15, 1 to 17, 1 to 20. We will be at 1 to 3.5. And,
Wow.
and we're very proud. Yeah, we're very proud of that because we know we can give the type of care that each of those residents deserve in their later years.
That's terrific. Is there going to be an Alzheimer's unit or something like that?
We have a Wander Guard system that's going in. We use it at Inspiration Field, so I'm very familiar with it. We have it in 2 of our group homes. And with that, if they need it, obviously we're not going to give it to them if they need it, but they'd be issued a bracelet. And if they start to wander outside of any of the gates or the house, it'll automatically shut.
Oh, okay, great. So does anyone have any questions for Johnny about the new, really cool, it is really cool looking, a nursing home?
And Johnny, I definitely would love to come tour. And Julie, if you could send me Johnny's contact information.
I will do that, yes. I will do that.
I think it looks beautiful. I've driven by it a few times and excited that it's going to open here soon and be a great asset for our community.
So the projected date is the end of February 23, correct?
February 28th, Julie.
Oh, 28th. Okay, great. Well,
Yep.
that'll be just a few days after our next BLT, so maybe we can all celebrate together. So that'll
Yeah,
be
and I just got an update from the general contractor yesterday. They're at 72% completion, and we're still on track for February 28th. He did say we're going to need every day of it, though, in order to get done by February 28th. So,
so we don't want any bad weather between now and then. No big snowstorms.
well, they have that accounted for, just as
Oh.
long as it's not the 3-footers and the 2-footers.
Okay. So does anyone have anything else for Johnny about the nursing home?
No, Julie, I just want to thank Johnny and the entire board for really getting this project off the ground and getting it done under extraordinary circumstances that nobody could have foreseen coming. So I just know you guys have really been working hard, and we appreciate it. So thank you.
We do appreciate it. Yeah, it's beautiful. And you had to go through the COVID that it started before that, and then that slowed it up. And so,
Yeah, but we're glad it's finally coming to fruition.
yeah, well, thank you for being with us today. Now, is Rick Klein or Rick Lovato on here now, or Anita Potter? I don't think either one of them. I know Rick was in a meeting. So does anyone else have anything to share before we sign off? Greg, do you have anything to share about anything else?
No, this is just thank you, Julie, for getting this all organized. I think this is our highest community participation online that we've had for these since we've been doing it. So appreciate that.
But you have to know too that we have between 40 and 50 people that watch it after it's over.
That's correct. That's right. Good point. Thanks. No, just great job. We got the trunk or treat coming up. We've got from a chamber perspective, we've got the Parade of Lights, all the events that were mentioned. They're over that second weekend in November. I've said this before. I'll say it again. For people that say there's nothing going on in La Junta or there's nothing to do, that is factually incorrect. So there's always something to do, and there's always something to support. So appreciate everybody. And it feels strange to say this before we have Halloween, but happy Thanksgiving, Merry Christmas, and Happy New Year.
Since this will be our last BLT until February 23rd. So I echo Greg's sentiments about Thanksgiving and Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. We thank you for taking part, and we want to continue this in the year 2023, and sponsored by the La Junta Chamber of Commerce, and CCOM provides our internet service here at the Chamber office, and we're thankful for that. So remember to get out and vote. Consider the 2B initiative on the ballot for the city sales tax, and get your ballot turned in by 7 p.m. on November 8th. Or Lynn will come looking for you, not really Lynn. So, but anyway, thank you all, and we will see you hopefully, well, we'll see you around town, but we'll see you on the BLT in February 2023. So
Julie, don't be getting me in
yes.
trouble.
What?
Don't be getting me in trouble.
I know. Sorry, Lynn. All right. Thank you much.
Thank you.